Alright, so this is a newer camera, or a different camera that I'm used to, so I'm going to try it and see if I like it enough to use it again, but if I don't, then I'll continue using the other camera. That being said, I'm going to talk a little bit about MFF, because it's 2 months now and it's long been overdue. First off, I want to talk about the little badge that I made. I kind of botched it. I thought it was going to be like a ring hole, like a hole puncher. I didn't realize that until afterwards that wasn't going to work. I made this myself. I was a sponsor this year. I joined the Beard Club. I'm going to try this. So this video is going to be kind of all over the place because some of the days, like, I can remember what I was doing, but I can't remember exactly in what order I did what. So I'm just going to first start off with the schedule that I had, because I write a schedule each time to basically narrow it down to what I did. So we'll start off with Thursday. Thursday, I got there a little early. For those who didn't watch my vlogging video, I had a test to do before, and I ended up waiting hours for that stupid test to, like, even start. So I was a little angry because I didn't get to go and arrive there at the time I intended to be. So that was a bit of an issue. Oh, I didn't bring my shirt. Ah, everybody knows what the shirt looks like. I'll do it some other video maybe. So I get there, and I got there an hour early. Everybody's walking around. It's actually pretty busy for it not being the official start of the con. I get in line, and as a sponsor, I didn't upgrade. I don't have anything against the people who did. There was a bit of an issue with the reg line. Anyone who was at MFF can tell you that that place was really bad when it came to lines. The entire con in general, for me, was nothing but lines. You had lines for reg line. From what I heard, it was like we've had to rearrange all the lines because I think I heard 5 times we were a potential fire hazard, and they said, you guys need to move, blah, blah, blah. So, and there are other YouTubers out there who have better footage of this example. I'll probably link it down in the description below of this video once I upload it, so other people can find that. But moving on, let's talk a little more about that day. So that was at 4:30. There was nothing else to do that night. So we got ourselves, the people I was rooming with, we got ourselves settled. Kind of didn't really do anything other than that. I think that's all we did, actually. I don't remember what we did that night. I think we just all packed up. Now, one of the guys, I'm going to say this, I'm not going to mention their name, but they decided 2 weeks before this actual con started that they were not going to go. So they only paid $50 because they felt bad, which, I mean, is better than not paying at all. But then they said, yeah, because of the situation, and because at the time we were only given a king-size bed and we wanted two beds, he said he didn't want to do that. This was after I had spent money to commission artwork for a room banner I wanted, like paid the artist, and then paid a company to print the poster sheet big enough in the right dimensions to post on the actual door itself. And when I heard this, so it was supposed to be 4 people, and this room was not cheap. I ended up, everyone was supposed to pay at least $100. I ended up paying $146 because he decided to drop last minute. Because I can't remember exactly what the reason was. I think he was expecting his suit to come in, but he didn't get it at that time. But basically, he said, I didn't want to stay there anymore. So I met him in line. I'm like asking, oh, so who are you staying with? And they said, oh, I'm staying with so-and-so. And I asked him, is it in the main hotel? And he's looking in disappointment. He's like, no. I forget which building he said it was at. I think it was either the Hilton or the DoubleTree. But all I know it said was that, like, see, that's what you get for leaving last minute. And then shortly after, when we got our room, I went up and said, hey, remember when you were worried that we weren't going to get a double? We upgraded. And he's like, oh, well, now I kind of regret my decision. I was like, that's what you get. Karma's a bitch. Not that I hate the person for it. I'm just using that as a joke. So, for the most part, I didn't really get to see a lot of the stuff that I wanted to go and attend. So I missed. So this is now Friday. I missed opening ceremonies. I missed Who Wants to Be a Voice Actor. I just wanted to check it out. I wasn't really planning on that. I did go to a photographer panel, but I didn't want to take video of it. I did take a couple of pictures, not really good ones though, of it just to know where I went. And that was at 1 p.m. Then I went to Dogfight Simon Says, which I have a vlog of it. A friend of mine was running that panel. I had met them for the first time at last year's MFF. Oh, I'm sorry, I kind of got all over the place. So because I because I sponsored, I got little tidbit things like this little crew member thing, because the con theme this year was flying or take flight or whatever. So apparently this was meant for pilots or whatever, at least so I've been told. A little name tag thing that I've still yet to take out of the bag. I don't know if you can see it. I got one of these things that you would typically, actually hang on, you would wear on a plane flight or whenever. It's kind of cool. I got this little pin that I still haven't taken out of its packaging yet, because, you know, why not? This sticker, to which I don't really know how to use, so I haven't really messed with it too much. But moving back to what happened Friday. So, let's see. I didn't really get to stay and do too much Friday. Friday, to me at least, wasn't really the best night that I had at MFF. And it has nothing to do with the people I was hanging out with, because for the longest while I was taking photos of a friend, Phantom, who's, you know, had his issues before with emotional stuff. And I kind of felt bad that, you know, not a lot of people really take good photos of him, so I wanted to try. For the most part, I think I did pretty okay. I mean, for a first-timer. But, you know, I can't really say for myself. I'd be biased. Towards the end of the day, though, I decided to go hit the Friday night dance. And, I didn't stay too long. Now, I made a video about it briefly. I was gonna go in carrying all my stuff, because, you know, I don't trust anybody to, like, well enough to leave my stuff out of anywhere I go, unless it's my hotel room. Thing is, I was carrying all that stuff, and I got stopped by, either con staff or volunteers. I honestly don't remember at this point. It definitely wasn't Dorsai. But they basically said, you can't take your bag in. I was like, why not? I forget what reason what the reason was, but they basically told me I had to leave it outside. And I was like, alright. I still wouldn't want to. I mean, there's still, even with the big enough amount of people there, we still have plenty of room in the back for us to put it on, like, the chairs and stuff, which really didn't make any sense why we couldn't do it in the first place. But here's the part I had a problem with. Once I got in there, I saw multiple people carrying bags twice the size of the one that I had. So I was genuinely pissed that entire night, to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna leave. So I left, grabbed my stuff, and then I kind of had like a mental breakdown. I didn't really want to go, like, I went to the corner and farthest away from the actual main stage entrance, because, you know, I didn't want to make a scene. apparently that warranted one of the guys' staff, you know, just doing their job, and I don't blame them for it. They thought I was having a medical emergency. I told him, no, I'm just kind of taking it easy for a bit. I'm gathering my thoughts and all that stuff. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm just making sure. And I was like, all right. And I was kind of at this point where I was like, yeah, I was like trying to get him to leave. But not like because I was doing anything bad, but because I wanted to cry. I was not, it wasn't really post-con depression. It wasn't really any, I was just like having a bit of an existential crisis or whatever. Because I felt like my vlogs this time around were pretty bad. So that concluded Friday. Next we have Saturday. So there was the sponsor brunch, which I went to. I mean, you paid for it, you might as well. At some time, I think it was the Saturday, I actually bought my first ever Foxes and Pepper albums, the Christmas album, and oh, this case doesn't like me at times, and their Spread Thy Wings one. Got them both signed by the individuals. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, those were signed. Really enjoy their music. I didn't think I would ever find myself buying CDs again, but you know, ever since I got a car that's got a CD player, I started listening to these as soon as I could. So right after that, we went to the Wisconsin Furs meet and greet, which, in all honesty, I was kind of surprised we had as many people as we did. We found out from one of the staff people who talked to the person running the page